like AEW or not, whether you like CM Punk or not, I think one thing is for certain. AEW Collision has been a great pro wrestling show on Saturday night. Whether you find it to be a success, that remains to be seen. That is a very subjective topic, especially with the time slot on Saturday night. But there's one reason why it's been great. It's been different than Dynamite. Talent that we haven't seen on Dynamite in a very long time seems to be getting the spotlight. And CM Punk. Everybody was wondering, is CM Punk going to take this seriously? How is CM Punk going to act? Is his backstage reputation going to come into play? Is it going to ruin the show? CM Punk is taking his backstage role very seriously, and he's working incredibly hard to make sure his reputation is seen of that as a leader. CM Punk is showing good leadership backstage for AEW on Saturday nights for Collision and seems to be taking seriously his role as a locker room leader. This is according to PW Torch. Punk has incentive to repair his damaged reputation as a malcontent without a filter or the necessary social skills to get along with others in powerful positions, both to secure cheers from savvy, well-read fans and also to show his locker room rivals who are the veteran leaders of Dynamite. The word from backstage at Collision is that he is taking all of this very seriously, that this is his show, and he's taking pride in putting his stamp on the air and off-air vibe in the locker room. Sources have said from PW Torch that they don't necessarily reflect the views of everyone in the back, and some may have different experiences that are less positive. But overall, the vibe appears to be moving in the right direction after some tension in his first week back related to his early dig at the Young Bucks, which I honestly feel Tony Khan approved it. That's all that matters, and everybody's a fucking crybaby. There's been no such insider digs in his promos since his first week back, alluding to the issues he had with the Elite and others in the past. Tony Khan has also assembled the Collision roster strategically to remove people who had conflicts with Punk from being around him on Saturday nights, and that appears to be paying off in the early stages of Collision. You know, the type of guy is, I don't know CM Punk, obviously, but the type of guy CM Punk is, he knows that the Bucks are not going to be on Collision. He knows that Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page are not going to be on Collision. They're going to be strictly on Dynamite. Tony Khan has strategically set these rosters apart so that the people who don't want to work with CM Punk don't have to, and they have Dynamite that they could work on. But CM Punk, looking at this, he's got his own show. He's the leader of that locker room. Things are going to go his way. He's the reason why this show exists. There is no way Warner Brothers Discovery is giving AEW another 2-hour block on a primetime night like Saturday night without CM Punk. They could fucking cry to you and tell you that's not the case all they want. CM Punk is the reason for this show. CM Punk is going to take great pride in this, and he's going to make sure it is better than Dynamite. He's going to do things differently than it's being done over on Wednesday nights. It is his stamp. It is his reputation. It is his show. And I honestly think that Collision right now is better than Dynamite. It is. The presentation's a lot smoother. The presentation's a lot cleaner. They do things that they used to do back in the day that they're making new again on this show, like the promos in the beginning of the show to set the table for the rest of the show for 2 hours. We got some great wrestling. We get great wrestling on Dynamite, but Collision has been churning out banger after banger after banger on Saturday night. And they need to do that. Storylines are simple. They're not indulging in multiple storylines at the same time. They're not bombarding you with 1,000 miles an hour on Saturday night. I think it's been a great show for AEW. And his reputation, good. He needs to. He needs to show everybody that he's going to work within the boundaries of the company and do what's best for the company. You should have expected this, and I'm genuinely happy. The show is a success. He's doing great. I think he's been great in this run, even better in this run return than he was when he first came back after 7 years. And I honestly think Collision's going to be a winner for AEW moving forward. I can't wait to see what they do with the weeks to come. And I honestly feel like it's definitely something that has differentiated the two products where they could, if they wanted to, go into a full hard brand split and really have some fun with it. So We will continue to monitor AEW Collision, but CM Punk's reputation right now is working, and he's working to rebuild that on Saturday night. Speaking of CM Punk, there was a news article from Fightful that also came from Voices of Wrestling. Fightful confirmed their report about CM Punk wanting to be a part of the Blood and Guts match in Boston, Massachusetts at the TD Garden on July 19th. It could have happened. It could have happened. The Blood and Guts match ended up getting, unfortunately, hampered with some injuries. We don't know what's going on with Wheeler Yuta. As far as I see, he's going to be available for that match. But the big name that's going to be missing from this match is Bryan Danielson, as he suffered a broken arm. He's not like Cody Rhodes out there, man. Broken arm. This is a real deal, broken arm. Broke his arm at Forbidden Door in his match with Kazuchika Okada and hasn't been backstage with AEW since, effectively removing him from the match. He will not be in Blood and Guts. CM Punk offered to get involved in the match, says Voices of Wrestling. Fightful confirmed Voices of Wrestling's report that Punk pitched himself as the 5th member of the Blackpool Combat Club's team. Now, whether this is serious or not, or whether he actually expected this to actually be accepted, that isn't known at this time. He has expressed his desire to work with the Elite in the past, but that said, he's not going to be able to as he wants to. They don't want to. More than likely, Punk wants it, and the lawyers and the legal team on the Elite side is not going to allow that to happen. Neither team would want it, one source said. When Fightful asked about issues with Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley, and CM Punk, they were told that Moxley was not opposed to the idea. Moxley is more than likely, especially more than the Bucks, going to be a little bit more forgiving of CM Punk, I feel. However, as of 2 weeks ago, the partners for both teams, the mystery partners for both teams, have already been determined. As Tony Khan said that on Wednesday, we will find out who those men are going to be 1 week before the show. I think that would have been great. But again, it goes to show you that CM Punk wants to do business. He wants to do business with AEW. He wants to do business with the Elite. He wants to make money. He wants to put all this aside, let bygones be bygones, fix the mistakes that he made, but the Elite doesn't want it. Now, who's to say that they go the opposite way and end up working with him in the future? Nobody knows. I feel like eventually we're going to get that match. Eventually things will be to a point where people want to work together, are allowed to work together. It will happen. It's the biggest match that AEW could do. They all know it. Tony Khan knows it. Warner knows it. It's going to happen. By any way necessary, that match is going to happen. That is my prediction. Whether it's at All In, whether it's at All Out, whether it's next year, it's going to happen. So Punk in Blood and Guts, not going to happen. Sounds like a great idea. I don't know if CM Punk really should go into Blood and Guts, being that he's, a little fragile with the injuries as of late. And, him being in that match could be huge, detrimental huge for AEW. But I think the idea of it sounds great. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. His CM Punk on Blackpool Combat Club against the Elite, it's like a dream come true, but this dream is going to remain nothing more than a fantasy. But it goes to show you the most important thing out of this is Punk wants to do it. He pitched to do it. The other side doesn't want to do it. And finally, guys, we got some concerning news on Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt still is not set for a WWE return. Wyatt's been sidelined since late February as he is out of action with an illness that prevented him from getting cleared to return to the ring. Fightful Select inquired about Wyatt's status, and a WWE higher-up confirmed to Fightful that Wyatt is still sidelined and not cleared for action. Fightful's told that he is still waiting clearance, and hopefully for a return whenever that occurs, he will be back on WWE soon after that. Wyatt was involved in a feud with Bobby Lashley, and they were planned for a WrestleMania match. Also scheduled to be involved with Wyatt in some capacity was Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy. That's who the rumored name was to be playing Uncle Howdy, his brother Bo Dallas, who's been off television since, and Alexa Bliss, who is out for all of 2023 on maternity leave. In the months that have followed, we have not heard a single creative plan for Bray Wyatt due to the unpredictable nature of Wyatt getting cleared by WWE Medical. Now, I don't know how, I genuinely don't know how many of you care. I don't care. I don't. I think the trust in Wyatt is gone. It is. Whether or not you like Wyatt, whether or not you think he's great for WWE television, there is a huge pocket of fans that just don't care. They don't. He's injury prone. Things like this are going to occur. The storylines never get fully fleshed out. They always deviate away from his original plan and his original vision. And WWE does not trust Bray Wyatt. The fans don't trust Bray Wyatt. The problem with Bray Wyatt is, outside of the medical, I'm not even talking about his personal medical health issues. The problem with Bray Wyatt is he's doing too much. He's doing way too much for a storyline, for a character that doesn't really need it. He's doing everything he can to make it cryptic and follow the rabbit hole and all this other shit. He wants to string you along on a journey. That's fine. His creativity is bar none fantastic. But sometimes simple is best. What have I been telling you guys about Bray Wyatt? Bray Wyatt, underneath all that, is a great pro wrestler. Why isn't Bray Wyatt going back to doing what brought him to the dance? Simple is best. Let's go back to what made you great. Let's go back to Wyatt family Bray. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. The Undertaker was interviewed about Bray Wyatt and gave his thoughts on Bray and how he's been booked since Extreme Rules last year in 2022. The Undertaker said this: they need to back Bray's character up to the original character. Get away from ... They've kind of got themselves booked into a situation where it's kind of difficult for him to have matches. I think the original Wyatt family Bray, that's where the money is. I got to work with Bray at Mania the year after I got concussed in the Brock match. I worked with Bray. I think a lot of him, and I like what he's doing. I think they just have to figure out Bray. They need to back it up. His promos and then his ability to work. He's an incredible, incredible worker, but he's not getting the opportunity to do it. I hope the best for him. I really do think a lot of him. We'll see what happens there. End quote. What have I been telling you for months, years at this point in regards to Bray Wyatt? Is he cleared? I don't know. Clearly, the report says he's not cleared. Why? Why is Bray not cleared? I mean, he's been dealing with a health issue, which I got tipped off on. You would think that with the health issue that it was, he would be back on television, but he's not. Is WWE personally sabotaging Bray Wyatt? Is Vince McMahon personally sabotaging Bray Wyatt? Does Bray not want to be back, knowing that the current administration is mostly Vince and not so much Triple H like he thought it was going to be when he came back? Vince McMahon blew up all those plans as soon as he came back in January, and his presence has been growing and growing and growing since then. Is he out with a medical issue? I don't know. I don't want to sit here and tell you that that is exactly what it is. But the reason why Bray Wyatt is off TV, I'm going to make a prediction. This is just me. I don't think it has anything to do with an illness. I don't think it has anything to do with him being cleared from WWE Medical. I don't think he wants to be back. I don't, because he sees the writing on the wall. Vince McMahon is creative at a higher level. When he gets there, Bray Wyatt and everything that's going to generate that type of interest, you know Vince McMahon is going to have a hand in everything, and it's going to be right back to where it was before he got fired from the company. Very concerning news for Bray Wyatt. We may never see him back on WWE television, and you can thank Vince McMahon for that. Thank you guys very much for all your support. I have other videos on the channel that if you have not caught up on, they are there. Go check that out on the homepage. We were live for Monday Night Raw. We were live last week for all the major shows, minus AEW Collision on Saturday night. We have extras, and we will be live tonight with TNT Episode 4, Tuesday Night Titans, myself and Andrew Baydala, going over the week in WWE and AEW. So make sure you guys set your notifications for that. We'll be live at 8:30. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. And follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Also on Threads. If you guys are on there, make sure you guys go follow me on the new Threads. And hit that thumbs up. Strive for 1,000 likes minimum today on OTS. Guys, I'll see you back live tonight and with more content right here on OTS.